Hello everyone, this is Shabnam, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology from Maharaja Agrasen University. So today my lecture is about cancer and various types of cancer. So let's discuss. It will cover the contents like about cancer, types of cancer, symptoms of cancers, causes of cancers, and treatment of cancers. Let's discuss. This is a cancerous cells. As you see in the screen, this is a neuron-like structure. This is very giant and showing multiple growths. So this is a cancerous cell. So cancer is a disease in which the cells start dividing abnormally, and it is a serious disease. Here what happens? The cells start growing dividing abnormally in an uncontrolled manner. Most cancer cells are found in the shape of tumors, with a few notable exceptions, such as leukemia. All tumors are not cancerous. Some tumors, such as moles, stop growing and are not malignant. So let's have a detailed look at different types of cancer. So first of all, we see through this picture, there are different types of cancer in case of males and in case of females. So here, what is the difference between the male cancer and what is the female cancer? Here some parts cancer which happens only in the female and some in the male. So here testicular cancer is common in male. Second, prostate cancer, it is also there in males. If we talk about females, there is cancer of uterus or cervix. There is ovarian cancer. And very most common cancer that occur in case of females is breast cancer. So these are different types of cancer like carcinoma, sarcoma, leukemia. Through these, some microscopic pictures are there. So there are more than 100 different types of cancer that are characterized by abnormal growth. So here I'll have some listed categories of few types of cancer. So number one is carcinoma. It is the most common form of cancer that affects the epithelial cells, which form the lining of internal organs or the skin. Lung cancer, skin cancer, pancreatic cancer, and ovarian cancer are some of its common manifestations. Carcinomas can be identified by the different cells that they affect. Next, we will come to the adenocarcinoma, a form of carcinoma that affects mucus or fluid-forming epithelial cells. Common examples of adenocarcinoma are breast cancer, colon cancer, and prostate cancer. Next, we will talk about squamous carcinoma, a carcinoma that affects the epithelial cells which are present beneath the outermost surface of skin. These cells also form the lining of many vital organs in the human body, such as the stomach, kidneys, lungs, intestines, and bladder. Next, we will talk about the basal cell carcinoma, a type of carcinoma that affects the vessel cells found in the deepest layer of the epidermis. It is a form of skin cancer which appears as a lump or ulcers in the affected areas. Next, transitional cell carcinoma. It affects cells of transitional epithelium found in the lining of bladder, uterus, and certain parts of the kidney. Next, we will talk about sarcoma. These cancers cells develop in the bones and soft tissues such as fat tissues, cartilages, blood vessels, lymph, and other supporting tissues of tendons and ligaments. The most common form of sarcoma in the bone is osteosarcoma. and in the soft tissues include Kaposi sarcoma, liposarcoma, malignant fibrous histiocytoma, leiomyosarcoma, and dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans. Next, we will talk about leukemia. It is commonly known as blood cancer. Leukemia affects the tissues of the bone marrow. It is responsible for the blood production. It is one of the fatal form of cancer. Leukemia is completely different from other type of cancers. Why? We will have a look. Because it is caused by the uncontrolled productions of white blood cells, lymphoid cells, and myeloid cells. These abnormal white cells damage the tissues of the bone marrow and crowd the normal blood cells. These abnormal white blood cells continue to divide and damage the complete normal blood cells. As a result, the leukemia patient fails to provide adequate RBCs to supply oxygen, adequate normal white blood cells to fight infections, and adequate platelets for blood coagulation. That's why leukemia occurs. Next, we will talk about lymphoma. It is a form of cancer that affects the lymphocytes in the lymph nodes, which are part of the immune system. There are two kinds of lymphoma: Hodgkin lymphoma that originates in the B cells, non-Hodgkin lymphoma originates in the BO T cells. Next, we will talk about melanoma. It is a form of cancer that targets melanin, the pigment responsible for skin color. In this form of cancer, the melanocytes are affected, resulting in the abnormal formation of melanin. It may also affect other tissues that are pigmented, such as the eyes. Next, we will talk about myeloma. Myeloma targets another part of the immune system, the plasma cells. The affected plasma cells, called myeloma cells, divide in the bone marrow, which causing multiple tumors in the bones. That is known as multiple myeloma, or also known as Caller's disease. Next, central nervous system cancer. So CNS cancers originates from the brain and the spinal cord. Vestibular squamous, meningiomas, primary central nervous system, lymphomas, pituitary adenomas, primitive neuroectodermal tumors are few central nervous system cancers. So here we will look about 8 signs to detect the early stages of cancer. If these happens, so you will have to worry about that something is not normal. So here, unusual bleeding or discharge, change in bowels and bladder habits, a sore that does not heal, nagging cough and hoarseness, decrease in the weight, obvious change in mole or wart, indigestion or difficulty in swallowing, thickening or lump. So these are few symptoms of cancers. Cancers can be identified by a variety of symptoms. In some cases, symptoms could vary or may not show any signs and symptoms. There are few general symptoms like irregular loss of weight, recurrent fevers, continuous pain in certain areas, fatigue, irregular changes in the skin, that is pigmentation, unusual hair growth, red or yellow skin, blotches, etc. Apart from these, women should watch out for certain symptoms of cancers that are unique to them, like change in the shape or color of the breast, bleeding out of the menstrual cycle period, blotting or blood in stool. So, some of the risk factors which causes cancer. If we will taking tobacco or smoking in excess, alcohol, excess body weight, or obesity. Age factor is also responsible for that. Genetics, if hereditary disease Also, it can be hereditary, passes through one to next through genes. Unhealthy food habits, radiations, or sun exposure. So these are the cancer risk factors. So in through the pictorial diagrams, we will discuss these symptoms. There is no conclusive evidences for its causes. However, scientists have found certain things which aggravate the occurrence of this disease. Some of the common factors are genetics, tobacco and other related narcotics, alcohol, exposure to unnatural radiations such as UV rays for an extended period of time, diet and lifestyle, infections, and unhealthy environment. So there are various treatments of cancers. Medical science has advanced greatly in last few decades and found the treatment for most common forms of cancers. The process of treatment depends on the type and stages of cancer. Some of the common treatments includes surgery, chemotherapy, hormonal therapy, immunotherapy, and radiation therapy. So these are various type of treatments. There is a surgery technique, there is a radiation therapy, there is a chemotherapy, there is immunotherapy, this is hormone therapy, targeted therapy, and stem cell therapy also there. So thank you friends. I hope you will like the video and will get some information from it. So thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much.